So before you say you're ordinary or not a champion, look how far you have come. Look at your story. Look at the athletes that are now following your path. To them, you are extraordinary.
The basic Alia Atkinson stat file is well known. 2 Olympic finals, 5 times Olympic Games, NCAA champion at Texas A&M, psychology degree. She's always figuring you out because she has the tools to do it. And most people's bright memory of her is in a Gleaner picture. Her popping out of the water, eyes bulging, 2014 world record. The first black woman, not the first Jamaican, the first black woman to be world champion, to have a world record. The first one is those who have interviewed her a few times know that day one, not one day, comes out of a warm place, a patriotic place, a requirement, a wish to pass on what she's gone through, what she's learned to the next generation of Jamaicans. So that this 10, 15 years of enjoy of Jamaica at the forefront of swimming won't end with her retirement. I'm sure this step-by-step guide to success is aimed at people whose ambition, whose love for black, green and gold, and for swimming is such that she can see that they want to go to the top as well. So, let me take off my bulletproof jacket and introduce you to Alia Atkinson, out of this section.
The reason for writing this book is that after I finished, there were still a lot of questions. There were still a lot of athletes, not just in Jamaica, in the Caribbean, but all over the world that had questions and they didn't know who to ask. I'm glad that they felt comfortable with me. I'm glad that they felt that I'm somebody that they can approach. But in all honesty, there are so many athletes all over the world that just want to talk to somebody. So the reason I wrote this book, first of all, was for them. So it was that something they can have, something they can have in their home, and something that they can read and help with all the issues that goes on in any academic career, athletic career. But also, it's for people who have difficulties getting up in the morning, difficulties that you need confidence, or you have weaknesses that you just don't know how to transform. You have goals and you have dreams, but this is your reality and this is your dream. How do I get there? What are the steps do I have to take to get there? So this book is also open for them as well. So I'll just read a little bit. Have you ever felt that you have the wrong body type for your sport? That if no athlete has succeeded in your country, then you won't as well? That even though you try your hardest, it feels like you were meant to be just another average athlete? The most extraordinary people are ordinary people doing their best every single day. It could be a person that almost drowns as a child, but instead of fearing the water, decides to learn how to swim. It could be a child that gets back on the monkey bars after a terrible fall, or a person that believes in their dreams no matter the difficulty ahead. Attempting to be better than you were yesterday, no matter how far you reach, will be the catalyst that pushes you forward. Now, I am aware that these are just words to believe that you're a champion in your core. We all have an origin story. Look at your beginnings, the challenges you overcame, the work you had to do to achieve your goals. Some athletes taught themselves to swim in bodies of water because there were no pools available to them. Others practiced at odd hours of the day out of concern for their safety, and some even practiced on snow, yet they created a bobsled team. How do athletes with such humble beginnings stand tall and believe that they're going to be the best? The answer is, they just did their best. We all have an origin story as to how and why we started our sport. And while it is easier for some to succeed if there's a path set out for them, not everyone has that. So before you say you're ordinary or not a champion, look how far you have come. Look at your story. Look at the athletes that are now following your path. To them, you are extraordinary.
When you look at your dreams and your goals, one day I will do that. One day I will be this person. One day I could do this. It's a great dream, but how do you reach there? Day one means that you're changing the narrative to say, I'm starting today. Today is day one of my goal. It's not out there. You're bringing it close to you so you can start it every single day. And I think that's why I wanted the book. I wanted to say, yes, I want to do that. No, you have to do it now. You're starting right now. So today is your day one.
Have the courage to dream and the determination to fight for it. All too often, we fall for the narrative of someone else's story, and we accept that as our truth. Sometimes we take ourselves out of the race before we even start. And why? Because others believe we can't do it? No. It's because we believe we can't do it. We cannot allow others to place limits on us, because before long, we will create limits on ourselves. So, I ask you again, who is limiting you? Who says you won't achieve your goals or your dreams? Who says you're not the champion? Is it you?